Hello guys and welcome to our Gameweek 18 preview. Let's start with lessons learned from Gameweek 17. Liverpool and Salah dip in form. Liverpool recorded their second loss of the season against a Southampton side which was missing McCarthy and Adams. Danny Ings netted the only goal of the match, which meant blanks for the entire Liverpool side and a lot of disappointed FPL managers. Liverpool registered double the attacking numbers of the Saints but only managed to fire one of their 17 shots on target. This meant a third consecutive blank for Mo Salah, who only had one shot on target in the last 3 game weeks. Liverpool do have a double game week 19, where many would hope Salah would regain some form. Arsenal turnaround of form. Quite contrary to Liverpool, Arsenal have now won 3 games on the trot after a comfortable 4-0 win over West Brom. The stats show their attack is truly starting to click, as they top the shots table this week, tallying 21 shots with 12 on target. They created a league-high 16 chances. Scoring in all 3 of their recent victories has been Alexander Lacazette, who is drawing the attention of FPL managers after his double against West Brom. Headlining the performance was left back Kieran Tierney, who was already seeing his price rise after a massive 18-point return in the snowy fixture. While Arsenal defenders are usually a big risk, they've proven that they are capable of keeping it together at the back, now with consecutive clean sheets. Arsenal face Crystal Palace next. De Bruyne capitalizing on position change. Loyal KDB owners were over the moon with his 13-point return against Chelsea, where he found himself playing in a more advanced center forward role. Clearly this favored his performance, picking up a goal and an assist in the victory. De Bruyne took 5 shots against the Londoners, creating 3 big chances as well. He was pipped to max bonus by Phil Foden, who had an equally impressive performance, but isn't as nailed in the lineup as the Belgian. City have a very favourable Game Week 19 double fixture against Palace and Villa home, where managers will be hoping KDB remains in this advanced role. Everton and Calvert-Lewin struggling. After a red-hot start to the season, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has now failed to find the back of the net in his last 5 Premier League outings. It hasn't been just him struggling though, the whole side has slumped as of late. In the last 4 game weeks, the Toffees have scored just 3 goals, recording only 7 shots on target, which is the second lowest in the league to Fulham's 5. They have a league low of 2 big chances created, however, they've only conceded 2 goals in this time, which really signifies the problems are in the top end of the field. Considering Everton don't have a double fixture in Game Week 19, is it finally time to sell DCL? To the next segment, players versus teams. Sterling scored 4 goals and assisted another in 5 Premier League matches versus Brighton, 3 of them came in the recent meeting in July. Aguero scored 5 goals and assisted another in 4 league matches versus Brighton. Harry Kane has 6 goals in 5 league matches versus Aston Villa. He scored a brace in each of the last 2 encounters. Martial has 4 goal involvements, 3 goals and 1 assist in 4 Premier League matches versus Burnley. Top 5 stats. Top 5 big chances in the last 3 game weeks. 4 goals from 5 big chances for Lacazette in the last 3 game weeks, good form for the gunner. 3 big chances for Aguero is impressive as he played only twice. Top 5 shots on target. 5 shots on target out of 6 for Soucek, 7 out of 8 for Lacazette. They're both in great form. Top 5 expected goals. No surprise, Laka on top after netting 4 times. De Bruyne in the top 5 after registering an XG of 1 versus Chelsea in Game Week 17. Top 5 expected assists. Tierney is enjoying playing as a left back. Cancelo has close numbers, but he unluckily has only 1 assist so far this season. Time for clean sheets odds. Man City, Newcastle, and Man United have the highest clean sheets odds in Game Week 18. Feel free to pause the video and check out the odds of all the other teams. Moving on to stats and tips. Stat 1. Man United last 5 away matches and last 5 visits to Turf Moor. Man United have been a goal-scoring machine on the road since the start of the season, having scored 3 goals in 4 of their last 5 road trips. With just 6 Premier League matches take place this game week, we believe Bruno, who only has blanked once on the road since the Premier League debut last January, is a must-have. There's even a case for attacking double-up from Man United with both Martial and Rashford capable of delivering alongside Bruno. On the other side of the pitch, United have registered 5 clean sheets in their last 5 visits to Turf Moor. In fact, Burnley's last goal versus Man United at Turf Moor was back in 2009, so we believe the likes of Maguire and Wan-Bissaka can get a clean sheet in this one. Stat 2. Man City last 6 league home matches and Man City last 3 meetings with Brighton. As always, Man City have been a reliable source for fantasy points, especially in home games against mid-table teams. In addition to attacking returns, the presence of Diaz has added defensive solidity to the citizens, who kept 4 clean sheets in the last 6 at home and scored 12 goals over the same period. Up next for City is a visit from goal-shy Brighton, who have failed to find the back of the net in 2 of their last 3 road trips. We believe there are potential fantasy returns at both sides of the pitch for City assets, with the influential Belgian Kevin De Bruyne a strong candidate for the armband this game week as well. Stat 3. Tottenham last 6 away matches. Since scoring 6 goals at Old Trafford earlier this season, Spurs have scored just 5 goals across their last 6 road trips, failing to score more than once in each game. Such attacking away form for Spurs may raise concerns for owners of well-owned Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, who enjoy 44% and 63% ownership respectively. Spurs will be paying a visit to Villa Park this game week, where the hosts can be in top 4 with a win and 1 game in hand actually. Furthermore, Villa have registered 2 clean sheets in last 2 at home, so my advice to you is to avoid captaining Spurs assets in this one and don't over rely on them if you are deploying your free hit chip this game week. Now let's talk about our player picks. Anthony Martial from Man United. With 2 goals and 5 assists, the French striker seems to have finally found his way to form and starting to gain momentum, as 6 out of these 7 attacking returns were realized in the last 5 matches. During these 5 matches, he has fired in an average of 3 shots per game, as well as creating a total of 9 goal scoring opportunities, growing more involved as both a finisher and a creator. On top of having no blank game week and a double game week coming against Fulham and Liverpool, he should profit from his team's next fixtures, with ties against Burnley, Fulham, Sheffield and Everton among the next 7, as all these teams have shown signs of defensive weakness. Kevin De Bruyne from Man City. With 3 goals and 8 assists so far, the Belgian remains the most productive Man City player, with at least 2 more attacking returns than any other teammate. In his last 6 game weeks, he was unlucky to return only 5 times, as he attempted 21 shots and delivered up to 19 key passes, highlighting a major involvement up front. On top of his potential from open play, he's also the go-to penalty taker of his team in the absence of Sergio Aguero. Not just that, he played as a striker last game week and was consequently more active in front of goal. A very decent upcoming run of fixtures highly favors the midfielder, with no blank game week and a double game week within a schedule that includes games against Brighton, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, West Brom, Sheffield and Burnley. Alexander Lacazette from Arsenal. With 7 goals to his name, the striker has scored more than double the goals scored by any other teammate, in great form recently, having found the net 4 times in his last 3 outings thanks to 9 attempted shots, including 7 on target. He has also attempted 4 key passes. Despite the absence of double game week for Arsenal, Lacazette's schedule still includes 3 games at home among the next 4, and that is where he tends to score more goals. Game week opponents Crystal Palace have conceded an average of 2.75 goals in their last 4 ties and have not kept a single clean sheet on their travels. Carl Darlow from Newcastle. Among the goalkeepers set to feature in this blank game week, no other goalkeeper has made more saves than Darlow's 64 until this stage. Out of goalkeepers priced below the 5 mil mark, only 3 have kept more clean sheets than Darlow's 3 so far. On top of having no blank game week, his upcoming schedule looks fairly decent for saves points and clean sheets, with favourable ties coming against Sheffield and Crystal Palace. Game week opponents Sheffield have been the worst attacking side in the league so far, scoring only 8 goals in 17 matches. Next up, team stats in the last 4 game weeks. Offensive. Man United top all the attacking metrics in the last 4 game weeks, that's why doubling up on their attackers is a good idea. Bruno plus Rashford or Martial, we will compare Martial and Rashford later. Arsenal are in the green half for the first time this season after 3 impressive game weeks. Defensive. It's pretty clear that Man City have been the best defensive team recently. Diaz is the safe option, Stones is the cheap option, and Cancelo is more likely to get more points. But there is always the rotation risk as Walker is back now. The 3 worst defensive teams are Crystal Palace, West Brom and Leeds. You always expect them to concede a couple of goals in every match. Fulham only played 2 matches in the last 4 game weeks, that's why they look very good here. Player comparison. KDB vs Sterling. De Bruyne is the second most transferred in player ahead of game week 18. Managers are returning to Man City midfielders again after a big performance versus Chelsea. The numbers suggest that De Bruyne is firing more shots than Sterling and is closer to scoring goals. His average position versus Chelsea showed that he was the most advanced City player. He is also on penalties. Sterling has less ownership, but De Bruyne is the safe pick. 21% is still a low ownership for a player like him, so between the 2 I would pick De Bruyne. Grealish vs El Ghazi. After moving to the 10 role, Grealish is creating more chances but shooting less, while El Ghazi has the best shooting stats among all players in the last 5 game weeks. If you have Grealish, keep him. If you don't have any, get El Ghazi as he's in better form, likely to get more points and he's cheaper. Son or Kane, Kane or Son, or both. Spurs duo are hot again in FPL after Leeds match. Owning both is no more a good idea as Spurs don't score too many goals, but when they do, this duo is always involved, as having one of them is a must, especially that they are both owned by more than 40% of managers. The stats suggest that Son is better value, has better attacking numbers, and he's over 1 mil cheaper. Kane is on penalties, but Spurs have the least penalty area touches in the league, so they are less likely to get any. Between the two, I choose Son. Martial vs Rashford. In the last 4 game weeks, Man United are topping goals scored 11, XG 8.99, shots on target 30, and big chances 18. They also have 3 matches in the next 2 game weeks, so FPL managers are leaning towards doubling up on Man United attackers. Between the two, I prefer Martial, as he's forward in FPL and he can be a good Calvert-Lewin replacement, while Rashford is a midfielder and we have many better midfield options. The only concern about the Frenchman is that Cavani will be back for double game week 19 and Martial minutes are in danger. Neto or Saka. 2 informed budget midfielders. If you activated your free hit, you must be thinking about getting one of them. They have close attacking numbers in the last 3 game weeks, but Arsenal are likely to score more goals than Wolves. Neto faces Everton, who conceded just 2 goals in the last 3 game weeks. Saka plays Crystal Palace, who conceded 11. Only West Brom conceded more, so my pick would be Saka. Watkins vs Wood. 2 budget differential strikers at 6.1 mil and 6.2 mil, both playing tough teams, Spurs and Man United. If we look at the stats, none of them has a clear edge over the other, but if you are picking one of them, just for Game Week 18, then Watkins is the better pick as he's playing in a more attacking team. Now let's finish up with captain picks. With only 6 fixtures this game week, it's better to play safe and captain a popular pick. Our first captain is De Bruyne at home versus Brighton. He's always behind everything Man City do, and we can see him playing as a forward again like he did versus Chelsea. If you don't own De Bruyne, Bruno is your man. He has blanked only once away from home since joining Man United. It can't go wrong when he faces Burnley at the Turf Moor. If you are using your free hit and you want a big differential to catch your mini league leaders, captaining Lacazette vs Crystal Palace should pay off, as they have been the worst defensive team lately as we saw before. We have come to the end of our episode. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to check out our Facebook, Twitter and website for daily tips and updates, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and good luck in Game Week 18. Peace!